and welcome to my channel. Welcome to How To Tutorial Thursday. Today's tutorial I'm going to be covering Nitrado. Now I'm going to be taking you through step by step creating your account and how to purchase your very first Xbox server. So what you need to do first of all is go onto the Nitrado website. Once you are on the website, you need to use the menu at the top and either log into your account or create a new account. For the purpose of these tutorials, I have created a new account, so I'm not going to hide any of the information from you. You will be able to see it as it is on your screen. Okay, so once you have made your account and you want to purchase your very first Xbox server, whatever you do, do not buy it off this website. You cannot buy Xbox servers on the website or on your phone. So what you have to do is to install the Nitrado app onto your computer or on your Xbox. Once you have the app on your computer, this is what it will look like. So open up your app and log in at the top. Once you're logged in, it will give you the option of order, your servers, boosting, and then log out with your account number at the top as well. So you can see on the screen here, there's quite a few different games it's offering you. Once you have picked what game you would like your server to be based on, then you need to pick your base location, so your host location. I am in the UK, so I have picked London. Some people say some locations are better than others. Personal preference, it depends on your experience. They should not technically be any different. Once you've decided your location, then go down to the bottom, and this is when you have to decide how many slots and for how many days. Sometimes they have discounts on. As you can see, there's a discount on at the moment. So you just need to go along and you need to pick. You can go between 10 and 100 slots and 30 and 365 days. The more slots and the more days you have your server online, obviously the more expensive it is going to be. So if you just want to take it easy, start slow and build up, then you can just start at your 10 slot for 30 days. The more slots you have on your map, you have to understand that eventually it will become quite laggy. So if you try and keep your slots on a smaller size, try and stay between your 10 and 50 slots, you shouldn't have as many performance issues unless you are planning to wipe your cluster quite often. It's personal preference. It's up to you, it's trial and error. You can't really go wrong with this. So once you've purchased your map, if you can go up to servers, and you will see in this box here, once you've purchased your map, that information won't be there, it will say installing. Once your map has finished installing, that's when you can start making some changes. Now on your app, you can see that it's giving you a boost option. Now if you enable this, it will give you a individual code. Now this is going to be unique to this map. You can have a welcome message and a thank you message, and this code, if you give it to people, this code will allow them to put runtime onto your map to basically give you money and donations to help increase the runtime of your server. So save that. If you wish to extend the runtime on your map, now this option is the days only. This won't change your slots. So if you're happy with the size your map is and you only want to increase the days, then this is the option you can use. There is another way of doing it, but I'm going to show you that in a little bit. So now if you update your runtime using this option will make your server go offline. So you just have to be aware of that. Okay, as soon as you update your map, your server will restart. I didn't know that the first time I did it, and I got really confused. So you just pick your option and then purchase. If you wish to upgrade or downgrade your map, then you pick the arrow option. This here gives you the different options, and you can change your slot caps up and down, as well as increase your day options, so you can purchase your year here as well. Now, if you have, say, a 20 slot map and you want to downgrade to a 10 slot, that is perfectly fine. You will still pay a price, but your runtime will just be increased depending on how many days you have left on your server. So just pick which option you want and then purchase it. If we go back to the main menu, now to start coding, you just press this option here. I'm not going to cover that in today's tutorial because I want to try and keep these tutorials quite short. So keep an eye out for my next one where I'm going to start going through the setup. I'm just going to show you the boosting option. You saw that code that you created just a minute ago. If you insert your code in here, it will give you the option to add time onto your map. Now, it will give you the option to do a small, medium, large and extra large donation, and it will give you the price, and it also tell you how many days you're adding onto the map. Now, generally doing it this way is cheaper, but the runtime isn't as much as the other option. The only plus, or the only thing extra, is that doing it like this will not restart your map. The runtime will just automatically be added on. So this is how I personally do it, because it's not going to kick anyone off of my maps. But as I said, the runtime isn't as long. But the only positive is if you have over a month on your server and you add more runtime onto it via this option, you'll automatically get a percentage more on your runtime as a bonus. So this is a good way of doing it. But there's not really much difference between doing it this way and the other way. The only difference is this way does not shut your server down, but the other one does. Now let's just go back to your servers, and I'm just going to basically show you how to see if your map is online or offline. Now my map has been installed because you can see the information here. If I press this button here, it will take me onto this website. It's just loading up. So this is my dashboard for my server. This is where you can start your coding as well as your settings. I'm not going to go into that today. It's going to be in another tutorial, but you can see at the top here it says server is stopped. So my server isn't currently online right now, just because I don't need it to be. But I'm going to take you back to the main page that we were on originally, and if you go on, hover over your username. Oh, let me get that off the screen. Hover over your username, go down to my services, and then this will also take you to your map. You've just seen on the other screen it says server is offline. You can also see that by the red bar here. If my server was restarting or shutting down, then this would be yellow or orange, and then if my server was online and active, this bar will be green. You get a few different options. It's only a very brief insight. So you've got your IP. This should normally show your server name. It doesn't always. So whenever I'm looking at one of my maps, I would just go through the IP address. It will also give you a slot cap and active players online at the time, and how many days you have left on your server. I really hope that this tutorial has given you a very quick but hopefully easy to understand tutorial on how to set up your Nitrado account, as well as purchasing your very first Xbox server. Don't forget to follow and to subscribe, and share to anyone that you feel this may be helpful for or to. and keep an eye on my next tutorial, and I'm going to start taking you through the general settings and setting up your server. But until then, I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a lovely week, and I will see you soon. Bye.